Welcome to The Explainer. Let's just get real for a second. If there is one truly universal experience in the dating world, it's the absolute mind-bending confusion of trying to figure out where you stand with someone you're really into. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? One day she's chatting with you constantly, dropping all these compliments, and then literally the next day, radio silence. Or it takes her 5 hours to reply to a basic text. It is a total emotional roller coaster. Well, in this explainer, we're going to be your definitive guide to finally decoding her true feelings. We are cutting right through the noise to look at the actual psychology-backed signals she's sending when she is genuinely interested in you.
Because that's the ultimate question, isn't it? Is she just being super friendly, or is she actually flirting? Your brain just starts spinning. You think, does she like me? She said she likes caring guys, but wait, do I even fit that vibe? You start wrestling with that terrifying thought of, man, should I just confess how I feel? But what if I tell her and it completely ruins the friendship? Look, I want to validate that fear right now. We have all been there. It is completely normal to overthink this whole thing. It feels like a high-stakes guessing game, but honestly, it really doesn't have to be.
So let's break down why so many of us get this wrong. It's not that guys are just clueless by default. It's that we are socially conditioned to look for these giant, flashing neon signs. A guy is basically waiting for a billboard that says, hey, I like you. But women, they rarely communicate initial interest like that. Even if she is super into you, she is probably not going to just walk up and say it. Instead, women communicate interest in incredibly subtle, quiet, and honestly mostly subconscious ways. They drop hints. And yeah, those hints fly right over most guys' heads, which is exactly why today we're going over 7 completely legit, scientifically backed cues you are almost certainly missing.
All right, let's kick things off with phase 1, the silent signals.
Before she even utters a single word, her body language is basically screaming the truth. Now, women are often pretty aware of their posture, but when they're around someone they're actually attracted to, their subconscious totally takes the wheel. It's all about physical spacing. If she's facing you directly, or say you're at a restaurant and her feet under the table are pointing right at you, that's no accident. That's her subconscious compass pointing to what she wants. If you're in a group and she always manages to be standing right next to you, or she physically leans in when you're talking, her body is literally saying, I am prioritizing you. If she's physically drawn into your orbit like that, she is highly comfortable and super engaged.
And this is where the biology gets absolutely fascinating. Eye contact sounds basic, but it is arguably the strongest indicator of attraction we have. And no, we aren't talking about intense, unblinking horror movie staring. We're talking about holding your gaze for literally just 1 second longer than what is normal. Catching her looking, she gives a little smirk and looks away. Or you catch her checking you out and she immediately gets all shy and breaks contact. That right there, that is a massive sign. That specific, prolonged moment of eye contact actually triggers an oxytocin release in the brain. It is actively building a chemical connection between the two of you in real time.
Which brings us to another wild, totally subconscious tell, mirroring. Ever notice that you lean back in your chair and like 2 seconds later, she leans back too? Or you casually scratch the back of your neck and suddenly she's touching her neck? Again, not a coincidence. This is your brain's bizarre, amazing way of saying, hey, I really like this vibe. Let's copy it so they know we're on the exact same page. You gotta watch for this physical synchronization. If she's matching your movements, your walking pace, or your posture, it is a massive, uncontrollable green light.
Moving right along to phase 2, physical quirks and the vocal shift.
So when someone is attracted to you, their nervous system kind of goes into overdrive. They want your attention, and they desperately want to make a good impression. The trick here is knowing the difference between just random fidgeting and targeted behavior. Take the classic playing with the hair thing. Look, let's be real. Not every single time a girl touches her hair means she's deeply in love with you. Sometimes an itch is literally just an itch. But if she is repeatedly twisting it or constantly tucking it behind her ear while she is locked into a deep conversation with you, that crosses over into what psychology calls grooming behavior. She's doing it because she's nervous you're around, or she's subconsciously trying to look cuter to impress you.
Next up is attention seeking. If a girl's interested, she 100% wants your attention. But remember the rule, she's not going to just walk up and demand it. Her behavior does the asking for her. Say you're nearby at a party. You might suddenly notice her acting just a bit louder with her friends, laughing a little harder, getting a tiny bit rowdier. She's not trying to be annoying. She's basically casting a net out there, really hoping you'll look over at her side of the room.
And right on the heels of that, boom, the vocal shift. This is such a huge clue. Contrast how she sounds with her friends versus how she sounds with you. We just said she might be loud and rowdy with her friends to catch your eye, right? But when she actually turns and talks directly to you, suddenly the pitch drops. Her voice might get a little softer, a bit more playful. Maybe she even sounds a bit like she's hosting a late-night jazz radio show. That is absolutely deliberate. When we are attracted to someone, our tone naturally shifts to sound more flirtatious and engaging. If you hear that shift, pay very close attention.
All right, let's get into phase 3. Engagement and detail memory. This is where the whole dynamic gets a lot more active. She's not just sending signals from across the room anymore, she is actively testing boundaries because she genuinely wants to know you. That quote-unquote accidental arm brush when she laughs, a quick tap on the shoulder, or choosing to sit right next to you when there are literally 5 empty chairs everywhere else. Those are invitations. She is testing your comfort zone to build trust. Plus, she's going to laugh at your jokes, even the incredibly lame ones. And she absolutely will not let the conversation die. She'll hit you with random questions over text about your favorite video game or your weekend plans, just to keep the momentum going. She actively wants to understand your world. And the absolute best proof of that engagement is her detail memory. Picture this. She says, "Wait, isn't your dog Max terrified of cucumbers?" And you're thinking, "Wait, I mentioned that tiny random thing like a week ago in passing." If she brings it up today, that is not just her flexing a good memory, that is genuine interest. As humans, we literally only remember the details we actually care about. So if she's logging these tiny little facts about your life, you have definitely made a significant impact on her.
Now we're hitting the big leagues. Phase 4, trust in the inner circle. We are officially in the territory of undeniable signs of attraction. The superficial small talk drops, and she starts letting you behind the velvet rope of her private emotional life. If she's sharing daily emotional updates, like venting to you, "My friend totally judged me today and it really upset me," or if she drops a vulnerable secret like, "I've never actually shown anyone how excited I get for my birthday," wow, she is making you a highly trusted VIP in her inner world. When a woman brings you into that circle and shares her deep frustrations and feelings, you are definitely no longer just a casual acquaintance.
Which brings us to the final boss. If you walk up to meet her friend group and they already know your name, they know your weird hobbies, or they even know your inside jokes before you've even been introduced, you've won the game. Listen to me. Women simply do not brief the entire squad on the deep lore of some random guy. If her friends know all about you, you are officially dealing with premium tier attraction. Because it means she's been talking about you a lot.
So let's pull this all together. The final verdict, the attraction formula.
This is your actionable playbook so you can finally stop overthinking everything she does. We call this the rule of accumulation. Context is everything here, folks. If you only spot 1 or 2 of these signs, maybe she points her feet at you once and laughs at a joke, she might just be a genuinely friendly person. Don't jump the gun based on one thing. But if you start seeing 3 of these signs, okay, a clear pattern is forming. You are onto something. And if you hit that top tier, 4 or more of these subtle signs happening together, that is a giant green light. We're talking extremely high probability.
I really want you to lock in on that number 4. 4 is the absolute magic threshold. If you mentally count 4 or more of these subconscious signs happening consistently, it is time to turn off the overthinking part of your brain. Just flip the switch. Stop second-guessing yourself. The ball is officially in your court. Play it cool, trust the signals, and just realize that she genuinely likes you. From that point on, it's all just about how you vibe, how you talk, and how you make her feel.
So as we wrap up today's explainer, I've got to leave you with a question to really think about. Have you ever completely missed these signs in the past? Looking back on it right now, can you spot the mirroring, the grooming behavior, or that crazy random detail memory that just flew totally over your head at the time? Trust me, we have all missed these at some point. Think about those past missed opportunities, use them as your ultimate learning ground, and get out there ready to confidently spot these signals next time. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.